Good day, fellow bettors. Thank you for joining me for another video for your Bundesliga predictions and betting tips. Today I will be sharing with you my predictions and betting tips on the match result, correct scoreline prediction, which you can use in turn to determine the expected number of goals for a particular game. Also, I'll be sharing with you my tips on the handicap system also. And for this year game week, we're going to start on Friday and the way through to Sunday. And so therefore, let's just jump straight into it. And we're going to start with Cologne versus Bochum. And for Cologne versus Bochum, I'm expecting Cologne to win here. Not expecting too many goals though. Cologne to win, both teams not to score. And in terms of double chance, I'll go with either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Cologne wins this one 2-0. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take Cologne to win by a goal. Right, and then I'm going to take a draw. Alright, so right then, so just roll back up and give you a quick recap for Cologne versus Bochum. I'm expecting Cologne to win at $1.61. I'm expecting both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Cologne wins this one 2-0 over Bochum. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw basis being Cologne winning by a goal, and that's $3.50. Now we're going to move on from this game on to our next game, and our next game will be Bayern Munich versus Augsburg. And for Bayern Munich versus Augsburg, I'm expecting Bayern Munich to win here. So Bayern Munich to beat Augsburg. Both teams to score. In terms of double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Bayern Munich wins this one 3-1. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take Bayern Munich to win this one by a goal, and that's $1.36. Alright, so recap for Bayern Munich versus Augsburg. I'm expecting Bayern Munich to win this one at $1.13. Also, I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either team to win and both to score, and that's $2.05. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Bayern Munich over Augsburg, and that's $10 in terms of the odds. On the handicap side of the football, I go with Bayern Munich to win this one by a goal, and that's $1.36 if you should go that route. Alright, now for our next game, which is Eintracht Frankfurt versus Stuttgart. I'm expecting this one to be closely contested, and so therefore Eintracht Frankfurt versus Stuttgart, I'll say this one is going to end in a draw. And so this should end in a draw, both teams to score for me. And in terms of the result, I'll say we'll have a 2-all draw here. And so I'm going to go in terms of a double chance, I'll go with a draw and under 4.5. Now for your recap, for Eintracht Frankfurt versus Stuttgart, I'm expecting this one to end in a draw, folks, at $3.80 if that does happen. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying no, that should not be the case. And so therefore we have $1.75 if both teams do score. And in terms of the correct scoreline prediction, I'm saying we should have a 2-all draw here between Eintracht Frankfurt and Stuttgart, and that's $13 in terms of the odds. Now on the handicap side, no, not the handicap side of football, this is a double chance bet. I'm saying we should have a draw and under 4.5 goals in total, and that's $38. That's $3.80, not $38. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's move on to our next game now, folks, and we're going to jump on over to Hertha Berlin versus Mainz. And for Hertha Berlin versus Mainz, I'm expecting Hertha Berlin to topple Mainz here. I do expect them to topple Mainz. Mainz have been having the way better form. So, but I do think that Hertha Berlin is going to be challenging, and so therefore Mainz, that they haven't been the best team away from home, hence the reason why I'm tending to lead towards Hertha Berlin. But I'd say a Hertha Berlin to win or a draw, and so therefore I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a win, I'd go here and I'd say we're going to have a win here for Hertha over Mainz. In terms of double chance, I'll go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Hertha Berlin wins this one 2-1. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take Hertha Berlin to win by a goal, and then we're going to take a draw based on my predicted scoreline. Alright, so now just a recap for Hertha Berlin versus Mainz. I'm expecting both teams to score. I'm expecting Hertha Berlin to win at $2.87. In terms of double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying 2-1 here in favor of Hertha Berlin over Mainz, and that's $10 in terms of the odds. Now on the handicap side of this football here in this game, I'm going with a draw, basis being Hertha Berlin winning by a goal, and that's $4.33 if that should happen here, right? So let's move on over to our next game, and the next game now, folks, will be RB Leipzig versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. And for RB Leipzig versus Borussia Mönchengladbach, I'm expecting both teams to come here and give a fair fight of it. RB Leipzig being at home, they're heavily favored, and so therefore I'm expecting them to be winners here. Even though when you look at the last 5 here, you can see Borussia Mönchengladbach have won 3 of the last 5, while RB Leipzig have won 2. So therefore, it's an interesting matchup tomorrow. It's not going to be straightforward. One thing for sure that seems to be certain is that both teams will score. And in terms of a winner for this game now, folks, I am going to go with RB Leipzig, and that's solely because they're at home and I know what they're capable of. So RB Leipzig to win. And in terms of double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying RB Leipzig wins this one 2-1. In terms of the handicap system, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a draw basis being our predicted scoreline, right? So, alright then. So, recap for RB Leipzig versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. I am expecting RB Leipzig to win at $1.42. I'm expecting both teams to score as well at $1.75. In terms of a double chance, you could go with either team to win and both to score, and that's $2.25. That's really good odds. Correct scoreline prediction, I'm saying 2-1 victory here for RB Leipzig over Borussia Mönchengladbach, and that's $8 in terms of the odds for the correct scoreline prediction that I just gave you. In terms of the handicap system, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a draw basis spin. RB Leipzig winning this game by a goal. Alright, so that's how the cookie crumbles for RB Leipzig versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now we're going to move on over to Schalke versus Borussia Dortmund. And for Schalke versus Borussia Dortmund visiting Schalke. They lost to Chelsea earlier this week in the Champions League. I think they're not too bothered about that in a sense, but they should pick up the slack here against Schalke. And so therefore I'm going to take Borussia Dortmund to beat Schalke here, and both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Borussia Dortmund wins this one 2-1. In terms of the handicap system, we're going to go ahead and take a draw basis being Borussia Dortmund winning by a goal. Alright, so let's just give you a quick recap here for Schalke versus Borussia Dortmund. I'm expecting Borussia Dortmund to win at $1.72. Expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score, and that's $2.37 if that should happen. In terms of the correct scoreline prediction, I'm saying we should have a 2-1 victory here for Borussia Dortmund over Schalke, and that's $8 if that should happen. In terms of the handicap system, now I'm going to go ahead and take a draw here, basis being Borussia Dortmund winning by a goal, and that's $3.60. Alright, so for me, that's how it goes for Schalke versus Borussia Dortmund. Now we're going to move on over to our next game, and our next game will be Freiburg versus Hoffenheim. And for Freiburg versus Hoffenheim, I'm expecting Freiburg take care of things. They're usually good at home, and as you can see that the head-to-head here, the last 5, Freiburg have won 2. We've had 2 draws and 1 win for Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim is not in the best of form this season, and Freiburg usually does well at home. Hence the reason why I'm going for Freiburg to win this one. So Freiburg to win, both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Freiburg wins this one 3-1. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Freiburg to win this one by a goal. You could go either way. I would say you could take them to win by a goal, and you could also take a draw. Either way, you're going to be in a good place, I do believe. Alright, so let's just roll back up and give you a quick recap for Freiburg versus Hoffenheim. And for Freiburg versus Hoffenheim, I'm expecting Freiburg to win here at $1.90. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying yes, that should be the case. In terms of a double chance, you could go with either team to win and both to score, and that's $2.50. Really good odds. Quick scoreline prediction now for me, which is the most the most challenging part of these bets. 3-1 victory for Freiburg over Hoffenheim, and that's $13 in terms of the odds if that should happen. And in terms of the handicap system, now I'm going to go ahead and take a Freiburg to win this game by a goal, and that's $3.40. Right? So that's my prediction for Freiburg versus Hoffenheim. And now we're going to move on over to Werder Bremen versus Bayern Leverkusen. And for Werder Bremen versus Bayern Leverkusen, I'm expecting here this one to be keenly contested. Werder Bremen, usually an unpredictable team in a sense, and Bayern Leverkusen, unpredictable. I wouldn't use the term unpredictable, but they're a little bit challenging. So for this game, I'm going to take Bayern Leverkusen to win, and I'm going to say here, Bayern Leverkusen to win, and both teams not to score in terms of double chance. I'll go with either team to win and both not to score. Predictive scoreline, I'm saying Bayern Leverkusen wins this one 2-0. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take Bayern Leverkusen right now to win this one by a goal, and that's $3.60. Alright. In terms of the recap, now we're going to give you a quick recap for Bayern Leverkusen versus Werder Bremen. I'm expecting here Bayern Leverkusen to win. Yes, folks, $2. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying no, that should not be the case. And that's $2.30 if both teams does not score in this game. Either of them don't score. And so in terms of a double chance, I'll go with either team to win and both not to score, and that's $2.70. In terms of the correct scoreline prediction, I'm saying we should have a 2-0 victory here for Bayern Leverkusen over Werder Bremen. And that's $10 in terms of the odds. On the handicap side of the football now for this particular game, I'm expecting Bayern Leverkusen to win by a goal. And that's $3.60. Alright now folks, therefore that's how the cookie crumbles here for Bayern Leverkusen versus Werder Bremen. Bayern Leverkusen visiting Werder Bremen, please take note of that. And so therefore here, that's how the cookie crumbles for that game. And now we're going to skedaddle on over to our final game for this year game week. And this game will be Wolfsburg versus Union Berlin. And for Wolfsburg versus Union Berlin, I'm expecting Wolfsburg to challenge Union Berlin. Union Berlin, they have been having a really lovely season so far, but they usually do better at home rather than away. And so therefore now it's going to be very interesting to see how things turn out. In terms of the form, we've had a lot of drawn games, and I'm going to go for another drawn game here between Wolfsburg and Union Berlin. Wouldn't be surprised if Wolfsburg managed to steal a win away from Union based on their away form. And so therefore I am going to go with a draw here. Both teams to score. In terms of the predicted scoreline, I'm saying we should have a 1-1 draw here between Union and Wolfsburg. In terms of the double chance, I'll go with a draw and under 4.5 goals in total. So just roll back up and give you a quick recap here for Wolfsburg versus Union Berlin. For Wolfsburg versus Union Berlin, I'm expecting a draw in this game, and that's $3 in terms of the odds. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying yes, that should be the case, and that is $1.95 if that does happen. In terms of the correct scoreline prediction, I'm going with a 1-1 draw here between Wolfsburg and Union Berlin, and that's $6 in terms of the odds. In terms of a double chance bet, I would go with a draw and under I'll go with a draw and under 4.5 goals in total. The odds is $3.10 if that should happen in this game. So alright, then this is how the cookie crumbles for Wolfsburg versus Union Berlin, and that's how the cookie crumbles for this year week of your German Bundesliga betting tips and predictions. Again folks, I must thank you for joining me, and I wish you best of luck betting and profitable weekend. Thank you very much for your time, and let's just jump on out of here. Alright, see you again next week. Good luck.